Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for another interesting edition of our Youth Development Series. We are here today to look at very important topic, which we believe will not only transform your life as a person, but if we can all truly understand the meaning of volunteerism, it will transform our nation, Nigeria. So starting from today, we'll be looking at the theme, volunteerism for personal transformation and national development. Volunteerism for personal transformation and national development. I am a product of volunteerism. I can tell you, if you truly understand the importance of volunteerism, the sky is not the limit for you, it's actually the beginning. When you think of volunteerism, you are thinking of offering selfless service. You are free, you want to offer your time, your skills, your energy to help others without expecting anything whatsoever in return. For you, if you truly understand this, you offer yourself as a volunteer. That can lead to a lot of development in your community. And in the process, you'll be developing your own self, your own skills. I started volunteering at the professional association level. I was given the opportunity to be part of the executive of that profession in my state. I was appointed and later elected as a treasurer. But while I was there, I discovered there were so many areas that we needed help. So I decided to take on some of those areas. One of them, that was in probably 1994 or 5. There was nothing like WhatsApp then. What we had then was Yahoo groups, and it was also new. So I took on that opportunity to create a Yahoo group for the association. Not only that, I volunteered to design the website for the association. I went ahead also to design and make sure that we all have functioning blog, even for the association. And finally, I volunteered also to serve as the chairman of the IT section, where we brought in a lot of innovations to improve the association. But in the process of doing this, I was getting noticed within the association. And that brought a lot of opportunities for me. One of them I will never forget was 2004. I saw this advert, and all I have told you was what I wrote as part of what I have done for my association. And that gave me a ticket to go to Salzburg in Austria for a seminar. I still remember the theme very well. The seminar was held in the same location that they shot this movie, Sound of Music. Can you imagine that? Sound of Music. The same compound where they shot that movie was where we held that particular, and that opened me up. I met with so many people from all over the world, and that was the beginning. I also had so many other opportunities later. So I would like you as a person to make up your mind. Don't take these 5 weeks lightly. It's an opportunity we're giving to you to understand the nitty-gritty of volunteerism. And at the end of the day, we believe that it's going to transform something in you. And today, we're starting with week 1. And the, the topic is why volunteerism? Connecting self to nation. And we have one of us who will be introduced that we do the intro. So I turn you over now to the moderator of today's event to please take the next item. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Welcome everyone once again to today's program. I'd like to invite Professor Martha Egenti, to read the bio of our facilitator. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Josephine, for the introduction. I'll go straight away to introduce our resource person for today's event. He's no other person than Ebenezer Ogun. He's the founder and lead advocate of the Child's Rise Foundation. He has been a volunteer and social worker with the Nigerian Red Cross Society on several projects, including but not limited to training of volunteers, recruitment of first aid caregivers, blood donors, and disaster rescue team. Ebenezer is an expert in advocating for the rights of children. He has held series of campaigns and awareness on the subject matter, as well as hosting various media chats, poised at raising a society built upon the observance of the rights of children. We welcome you, Ebenezer, to this wonderful program, and we invite you to take the mic to go straight away to the program. Thank you. Ebenezer, over to you. You have the mic. Thank you.
Okay. I think we've lost him again. Please, let's be patient. Who is sharing the screen? So let's be patient. Can you okay, I think while I'm waiting, we will continue to just engage us before the speaker comes up. You have heard a lot about the speaker. He has such a wealth of experience in volunteerism. So today, I will really want you to look at the word volunteer. That word volunteer. When you volunteer, what you are saying is that you are releasing what you have to others. When you volunteer, you are making available what you have. So this says that you have something that you are going to put out there on offering for others to use. It could be a service, and the service could be in terms of skills. It could be just your time. It could be just, in other words, you are releasing, you are volunteering something that you have. Many of us, we have so many things that we are giving, gifts, which we have that we can offer. If you are somebody who can write very well, you can offer to be part of those who will be helping to write either newsletter, for example, in an organization that requires that. Or if you have any of these tech skills. There was a lady that I came across. This lady goes from one institution to the other to help set up the accounting system. And what she does is she will go there using Excel to set up free of charge the accounting system of that organization. And usually organizations that do not have too many staff, something they can run. And then it will teach them, she will teach them, and then of course move to the next organization. Of course, she comes, and the issue of having to give them, to ask for something remuneration is not always number one thing to consider. Yours may just be your time. We have elderly in our different locations. 2 or 3 of you may gang up and say, look, let's go and help the elderly for this weekend. Let's see whether we can help them to do this or do that. You are volunteering your time. And one of the things you will notice is that when you are going through this, that could help you to even discover your purpose in life. That could help you to discover purpose in life. You just discover that, oh, I have this likeness for this category of people. Probably in the place of worship, they ask you to stay with the children, for instance. I've also witnessed that. And staying with them for a few weeks, you discover that you love those children. Please let me know when the speaker is there. You love those children, and that may be the beginning of discovery of your purpose, and then you develop it. Many of us, when we're on vacation, let me give you that as an example. The question I would like to ask you is this: what do you normally do outside work during your vacation? I know many of you are in school right now. I can see Oka, a lot of you are there. I would like 1 or 2 or 3 of you to please volunteer. This part of volunteerism. Stand up and let me engage you. I will ask you 1 or 2 questions just for us to understand what volunteerism is all about. Can somebody just stand up from any location?
Hello, Prof.
Seems to see.
Can you see them?
Yes, I've seen somebody in Oka. Okay, so what's your name?
Hello.
Let's start with Oka, then we'll do Sokoto later. Oka, can you move so that we can all see your face? Okay. What's your name?
My name is
Okay, so what do you love doing outside your school activities? Don't tell me you love playing football.
I love studying and reading my books.
I said outside work. I mean outside school work.
School
What do you have that you can offer to people outside school system?
I love all these cultural something. Maybe all these are skill acquisition. As in,
You love what? Skill acquisition.
yeah, skill acquisition, yes.
All right. Since you are not getting the point, do you normally have time after, if you're on vacation now, if you have left school, you're on vacation, what do you normally do? What are the things that you normally do? I know you have time. What else do you have?
I used to engage myself in all this. I used to engage myself in title or maybe I'll be making one or two consulting bank shoes.
Okay. Can we have the lady beside you? Can the lady, what's your name?
My name is Joyce.
Okay, can you answer that same question?
When I'm on my free time, I'll say that I'll be out of my acquiring skills. And
You are acquiring skills. If you are not acquiring skills, what else do you do?
yes, learn about reading. Also, I'm also reading about
You're also reading, okay? Let's go to the guy in orange.
That means
Good afternoon.
I'm a programmer. So outside my school stuff and
Outside programming, what else do you do?
outside programming, I think of how to solve problems.
How to do what?
How to solve human problems.
Okay, I like that. You'd like to solve human problems. Okay. Now, in your neighborhood, what kind of problem have you solved?
Yeah, that is the kind of a growth something. It's not something that acquired, it's something I'm really trying to.
Okay, so finally, I want the guy, the fourth guy there.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Don't go. Yes, quickly.
Monday. Aside my education, I'm a professional singer.
Okay, professional singer. You know, you can be like David that was invited to sing to King Saul. When King Saul is vexed with that spirit, evil spirit, then they will call David to come and sing. Now, what I want you, the four of you, to think about is this. There's something that you have that is common, and that is time. You have time, and with your little time, first thing you need to discover is, what can I do to help people? What can I do to help my community? Let's assume there's a problem with your with water, for instance. Old people in your neighborhood or in your area, they have problem in fetching water. Do you know you can volunteer? The four of you. You can volunteer, you can decide on so date we're going to go and fetch water for these people. Or we're going to go and clean their compound. Or we're going to help them to arrange their rooms. What we are saying is this. You are giving what you have to people without expecting anything from them. Now, from this example I've given to you, what do you think the four of you can do together? Look at yourself, the four of you. 3 young men and 1 lady. What can you do together? Let's assume you're in the same location. You are living in the same area. What can you do, the four of you together? So the first thing you do is what?
Create awareness of what we are going to do. The first thing we are going to do is let the message get out that we are coming to volunteer on a certain date or time. Then we have the
You
problem
want
of
to
that.
volunteer. So first thing you have to do is you want to announce to the world that you are going to do
I'm
something.
not done. I'm not
Okay.
done. We assess the problem of the environment we are going to volunteer in to know who can
That's
help us.
number one. Assess the
Yes.
problem.
And number two, we will know our own resources, how much we can help.
You know what you can do. The four of you can do. Yes.
Within us, we inform each other on our strengths and our weaknesses and how it will help
Good.
us in said goal we want to achieve. Then we'll also interact with the local people there, the environment owners, the people that live there, on how well we can have access to them. If there are things they can help us to do to help, in order to help them, we also get it from
Okay.
them. Then lastly, we'll create awareness on social time or dates. We'll come and do the said thing.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for the four of them. Let's clap for them. So please sit down. This is a very good illustration. What I would like to say is this. If you are dealing with individuals, don't start with you are talking about announcing what you want to do. If you want to deal with community, at some point you need to interact with the community. And since you are part of the community, except you are not part of that community, that's when the issue of announcement might be of great importance. The whole thing over to Mr. Ogun right now. Over to you, sir.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir. I hope you can hear me.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right. So, very quickly, just going to run through the session with us while volunteerism, helping us to connect ourselves, our inner selves, to nation building. So not just connecting ourselves to the nation, but connecting ourselves to nation building, how we can give back to the society where we find ourselves. Okay, I'm going to start out by first identifying some myths, some lies we've been hearing about volunteerism. So a lot of persons have said volunteerism means I am having to do this work for this person, but he's not going to pay me. He's only just making a use of me. But in reality, volunteerism is not just about giving a part of yourself to somebody for his own selfish interest. Volunteerism helps you to also acquire skills. It helps you to build up upon yourself, and you'll be able to understand and even get to identify key areas where you probably lack skills before time, or you did not know you have those skills. So I'll start with the introduction. When we talk about volunteerism, so volunteerism is not just about mere charity. It is not just giving to that person, giving something to somebody, that the person you know who cannot pay you back. No, volunteerism has to do with personal responsibility. So you must understand that I am personally responsible for this thing. Then it also identifies that Hello, can you hear me now? Okay, I think I'm back online. So volunteerism also commits an individual civically. Growing up, I have heard a lot of persons say, this thing does not concern me. It does not affect me. But in reality, if we all have to wait until that particular thing affects us or concerns us, then it becomes a huge challenge. It becomes something that had outgrown what we can easily manage as at when it was still very, very small. Now, volunteerism also ensures that we're able to engage with people differently. Volunteerism could be of various areas. For instance, you could wake up one morning and say, okay, I want to take care of my environment. I want to pick up all of the trash laying around. I'm going to pick them up and ensure that my environment is clean. You might think nobody is getting to observe you, or no one is seeing you, or there's nobody to reward you. But believe you me, one time, one day, sometime, you can make reference to that particular thing. All right. So it is a thing of joy when everybody starts understanding that we are in this together. It is a collective effort. It is not an individual thing. Everyone should focus, everyone should commit to making the world a better place. And that is what volunteerism helps us to do. Now, how do we understand volunteerism? Now, I know the Nigerian context, so I want to I want to reframe us from there. So like I said earlier, volunteerism is not just about mere charity. No, there is personal responsibility. You must see to it that you must commit yourself to it. We could also make reference to the National Youth Service Corps, which is meant to be a very good space for every young person to practice volunteerism. I've heard series and I've seen series of projects that were executed by youth corps members while they were active in service. Now, these projects outlived them even when they finished their project. And I'm aware the federal government even rewards young corps members who initiate projects that are outstanding, and to the extent of even giving them national medals. So if somebody had initiated something from the onset, maybe just to pick trash, and today it has grown into a recycling outfit, while he started out picking out trash, he probably would have not thought of it, that it would grow into becoming something that will be this big today. But see the beauty of it all. So we as young persons must learn to change our perception. We must change our mindset to go from what can I get? So it shouldn't always be what I am going to gain, what I stand to receive. However, it is what can I give? How can I make my community a better place? How can I make the next door neighbor to me better off what he or she is presently? Now, let's dive deep a little more into the concept of volunteerism. If you travel around, or if you check around, you would see there are various NGOs that promote volunteerism. One of them is the Nigerian Red Cross Society, which is a body of the Red Cross worldwide. And what is the job of the Red Cross? Ensure to provide free and prompt first aid, first care to wounded individuals, or even to the vulnerables. So I do not know you, but I do not stop there. I have to commit to the fact that you are a human like me. Hence, I need to do everything I can within my power to make sure you are able to survive, to make sure you are able to live again. So we shouldn't always see volunteerism as something just small. No, volunteerism is globally celebrated. We have the AmeriCorps, we have the UN volunteers there also, having several individuals from various countries coming together. Now, even in Nigeria here, we have, I mentioned the Red Cross, we have organizations like Leap Africa, and I need to give kudos to some young persons during the outbreak of the coronavirus, where it was total lockdown. The whole economy was on lockdown. People came up with initiatives. Learning did not stop. There were introductions of various online or virtual platforms where people could learn and then get to know better and not lose out entirely. So these are one part of those things that volunteerism open us up to. So as young persons, like I said earlier, our mindset needs to change. We must find how to commit. And until we have that mindset, understanding that I can give back to my community and not every time what my community can do for me. Until then, are we going to build up a better individual? So to embrace volunteerism, we must alter that perspective of what can I give? What can I get? But rather, let's embrace the mindset of what can I give? What can I do better? And believe you me, you might not get paid in cash when you start up that initiative or that concept. But trust me, there is someone out there who is looking at you, and one day will just pick you up, talk, and then recommend you. I'm a member of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, and over time I have had to serve selflessly. Even in cases of emergencies, I've had to stand up, run around, and so I'm going to quickly share 5 key things that has helped me in life and still keeps me going. So we all know this acronym, and this song, we are HAPPY, happy. So how then do we identify ourselves? I heard some of you mentioning you were trying to acquire skills and other stuff. Brilliant. But how best can you get there? So let's take the acronym HAPPY. The H stands for your heart. Whatever you're going to do must come from your heart. So you have to look within you. If you're someone like me who loves animation or who loves cartoons, you probably would have seen the cartoon Pocahontas. Remember how she had an issue deciding either to leave a people and go see another country entirely. Mind you, she was trying to even bring liberation to her people. The grandmother told her, you have to listen with your heart. So look within. As young persons, we must look within. We make up 30, those of us who are above, between the age of 35 downwards, we make up a total of 60% of the Nigerian population. So we must learn to look within, look into our heart. Then the next alphabet, which is A, is ability. So I must ask myself, if I have decided I want to do this, and I need to do it well, the next question is, do I have the ability for it? Can I wake up anytime, even when I need to rest? Can I still run around and do any other thing? So ability is something you must understand. The first P there happens to be your personality. Most times I've heard a lot of persons, when you're asked, who are you? A lot of us were quick to respond by saying, my name is. No, your personality is more than that. In reality, your personality is actually the real you in the dark. The real you when no one is there. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. So when you're able to differentiate between your strengths and your weaknesses, it is then important for you not to give your weaknesses an opportunity into becoming a threat to you. Now, the next P talks about passion. Passion. I'm sure this is not the first time we're hearing this word. There is nobody that will thrive in voluntary service that is not passionate about what he is doing. You cannot thrive in any field you want to volunteer in, you want to venture into, if you are not passionate about it. So passion is that thing you will do even when you are not paid. Oh, you know you're not going to get paid for it. You do not bother because you're not worried about the financial gain that you stand to get. Then the last alphabet, Y, that talks about yesterday. So I want you to put in brackets pain. So yesterday represents pain. What is that thing? What is that pain you have passed through? Your yesterday does not have to be literally yesterday. It could mean the last couple of months. It could be the last year. What is that pain? What was that thing that you passed through that you do not want someone else to go through? I have a friend that I heard about, and his father was so sick that he was rushed to the hospital. But on getting to the hospital, you know the Nigerian context of our general hospitals where they say you have to deposit XYZ amount of money before treatment commences. And this young man, unfortunately for him, could not raise the needed fund. The long story short, the father could not get the medical treatment and he eventually died. So this became a pain on his heart. And then he said he was going to start up something that what he's going to do, he would ensure to provide care to people in their needs, those who cannot provide for themselves. And today, this young guy is thriving. And believe you me, there are several organizations who are willing to partner with him because they have seen the importance of what he's doing. Volunteerism is like, it happens like a ripple effect. It starts small, but then as we continue to spread, it becomes bigger and bigger to the extent where it covers the entire area. So we all as young persons must understand that whatever effort we put in today, either educational wise, environmental wise, health wise, whatever little effort you give, you put in today, it's contributing to a collective progress. So when we instill those values into ourselves, when we instill the values of giving back to our community into ourselves, we find out that we will now see individuals who become responsible and civically minded, not individuals who are always looking out for what do I stand to gain? What do I stand to benefit? But rather let it be, what can I give? In what area can I make this person better off? In what way can I make myself productive and available to the needs of people around me? Let's go to the next slide quickly, please. Hello? Okay. Now, okay, so I'm going to share this slide and we can see some practical case studies of youth in nation building here in our country today. We can see here the Not Too Young to Run movement started from, young persons. Myself, okay, I didn't get the time to introduce myself. I happen to be a fellow, an alumni fellow of the Carrington Youth Fellowship Initiative. And during my fellowship year, myself and my team members, we were on the good governance team where we started out a project that we named Thai Nigeria, which means to transform, inspire, and educate. And one key message we were selling out then was to tell young persons that it is not just enough to vote, but we can also be voted for. And this, you can see, has also translated into the Not Too Young to Run movement. And today we have young persons in various political offices. This started from somebody. He volunteered to bring up this initiative. And today it is celebrated. You can see budgets. Budget was funded by volunteers, and they have tech, they bring tech solutions to us. See the COVID era where we had challenges with making financial transactions. Different tech guys came up. All of these were credited to young persons. The NSAS was also something we can make reference to. See the collectiveness of young persons at Lekki that night, those period. So all of these and many more are different initiatives that young persons can bring up to ensure that the underserved, the underreached benefit from humanity. Thank you. Okay, so I need us to also understand that true leadership does not come out of volunteerism. True leadership does not come out of volunteerism, because as a leader, you must understand that you have to give everything, give your resources to your followers, your time, your money, your skills, your knowledge, everything. We can see the power of youth in nation building. 60% of us, we're young, we drive innovations, we look at tech growth, look at advocacy. And one key thing I must credit us for is our passion for development. Believe you me, there is no nation on earth that can develop without the energy of its youth. So there's no how that Nigeria can develop without you and I as young persons. So we have to commit. And how do we commit? It is by volunteering, not always waiting for what to get, but rather it should be what I can give. All right. So you must have passion for development, and you must be aware civically. The Lagos state government used to carry out environmental sanitation programs. This helps to keep our environments clean. Even if that initiative had stopped, it does not mean as an individual, you cannot look around you and find dirty spots and clean them up. That way, it helps to prevent against any future disaster. Now, what are the benefits of volunteerism? Believe you me, the benefits of volunteerism, I cannot exhaust them today. In fact, in the next 1 month, I cannot exhaust them. But the first thing, personally for me, the first benefit of volunteerism is I find fulfillment. You know, that joy you get, that peace of mind you have, knowing fully well that you were able to lend a helping hand to somebody who cannot pay you back, someone you do not expect any gratification from. So volunteerism gives you this self-fulfillment. It builds confidence in you. And believe you me, volunteerism opens you up for the real world experience. Young persons, a lot of young persons I have met would volunteer on different projects, actually put that in their CV. So I usually ask people, how do you intend to gain experience? When you go, when you apply for a job and then they tell you, we need a 5-year experience on, but then you're just a school leaver. How do you gain those experience? If you can find a sector to volunteering, let's assume you decide to visit maybe any of this caregiving home or the elderly home, and you tell them, oh, I want to volunteer 2 hours of my time daily to doing community service for you, helping you to assist the elderly. You can impute this into your credentials, your CV. And when you submit these to organizations, corporate organizations, they will be willing to even hire you. Why? Because they now see you as somebody who understands empathy, somebody who has gained real life experiences. Now, if you look at the benefits of volunteerism to our nation as a country, is that it helps us to unite communities. Until you travel out of your comfort zone to see areas or individuals who are going through or who need certain services, you might not understand what people are actually suffering. So when you travel and you connect with these communities, you begin to discover interesting things about them. And that way, you get knowledge for it. Then, the government, we were told that government is not just about our elected representatives. Government also has to do with us, the citizens. So as a volunteer, you are helping to support the effort of the government. Because why? The government cannot be at every place at the same time. So the little we're able to commit to our various communities, so the communities closer to us, it helps to support and promote the effort that the government is also putting out there. Then there are some loopholes that we have also seen. Volunteerism would also help us to cover those loopholes. It helps us to cover those loopholes. Yeah, we could proceed. Now, what are the personal impacts going forward? You can see the mental health and confidence. So studies have shown that when you volunteer, you have lower stress and higher self-worth. So when you volunteer in projects, because you are doing it passionately, it is not monotonous to you. It is stress-free. Rather, you are finding joy on the job. And then your self-worth, your self-esteem becomes higher. It grows. You get hands-on experience on fundraising, people management, project management, and most importantly, communication skills. There is no day you wake up that you will not communicate with a person, with somebody. So volunteerism can also open you up to acquiring communication skills, whereas you do not even know that you are getting that skill already. The CDS, Community Development Projects, there are various of them. If you go around, if you travel around various states, mostly in the north, you're going to see young core members who are initiating different projects, waterborne projects, tech-related projects, free health medical checkups. In fact, there are some religious organizations too, under the body of the NYSC, that also carry out programs and give out free medical care to the citizens, of the residents of those communities, the rural areas. So this is one of the things volunteerism opens us up to, right? Now, I'm going to round up very quickly, but before I do, I need us to quickly do something while we're seated looking at, while we're seated hearing me. Now, let's assume you stay in an apartment, a one unit bedroom apartment, and you notice that from the rooftop, there is a leakage, a drop of water coming down into the one unit bedroom where you reside. And then because there are two other friends of yours who stay with you, and you decide that, okay, I won't do it. I'll wait for any of them to come and fix it. Now the next person is also saying the same thing. Oh, I won't fix it. I'll wait for the other two. Same goes with the third person. What would happen when it rains heavily and none of you happens to be at home, and it rains heavily? Now that one drop of water, what do you think it would have become by the time you come back home? This is one of the consequences of us not taking the right action. You must understand that the word change starts with you saying, I will do something. I will act upon this thing. I will help. Oh, there's a dirty environment around where I reside. I will help. Because if I don't, there could be airborne diseases from that dirty environment. And guess what? It would also affect you. So the consequences of inaction, of us not taking action, is that it affects us likewise. We now have social unrest, broken systems, poor community service. And you and I, are the ones staying in this community. So if we say we want to keep waiting for the government every time, when would the government get to us? Don't you think it will be too late at that time? And if you must know, you and I will be the one to bear it. I can see some of us from Mina. I was fortunate to serve in Niger State, and I remember vividly how in the school in Lapai where I served, I noticed that accidents happened and they really don't know how to manage it. So one thing I did together with my co-Red Cross members in the NYC CDS group was to organize free first aid training for students within Lapai local government area of Niger State. And today, I still get feedbacks from the people back there that, oh, thank you for this community effort. Thank you for helping us to bring solutions. Now, I am no longer there, but the project is going on. And same way, these individuals who were taught, majority of them had traveled, but the knowledge stays with them. And I believe that wherever they find themselves, they would also be able to inculcate that knowledge into several individuals they meet. So that is volunteerism for you. It starts from one person, and then geometrically, it begins to grow. From 1, it becomes 2. From 2, it becomes 4. From 4, 8. And before you know it, the ripple effect would be felt all around. So in conclusion, I want you to change your perception, change your mindset from not me, what I will get, but rather let it be what I can give. Service. Live a life of service, and God willing, I can guarantee you that the sky would be your horizon. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask if you have questions, please ask our facilitator questions. You can raise your virtual hand. Or you can also chat it. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm Gabriel Joel. The concept, the introduction and the concept is well understood, and there is a boost of morale. Like he said, the speaker said, we want to change our perspective. My question is this: in this modern day insecurity and activities of the negative aspect in our day-to-day society, how can they engage a young individual to volunteer maybe at the roadside or try to put your community in order while you don't know the interests of your next colleague, either negative or positive towards you? Most importantly, the negative thought of the society where everybody is running to make gain at the detriment of another person's life. How do we cushion the effect of the insecurity that we can be able to function to make our society better? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ebenezer, can you take that on?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. I quite understand your the point where you're coming from. So the first thing I would need you to do there is to identify the problem. So in the area where you reside, you've identified the challenge and you intend to commit your time. But the challenge there is, how do you combat or how do you face the security problem? Well, I would tell you to do something first by carrying out what I call community mapping. Find individuals you know who share same vision with you, right? So when you identify individuals who share the same ideas or vision with you, you could reach out to security agencies around and tell them, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what we plan on doing. However, because of the security threats around us, we're going to need your advice, because I've not been to your area, so I wouldn't want to use my understanding of battling or facing security challenges here where I reside in Lagos with yours. But that is one thing I would do. First, map out who are the individuals I know can that aligns with my vision. Then I identify those people, come together, we map out what we intend to do. Okay, we've identified the risk there. How do we resolve it? The best bet is you could write to your community leaders, write to the security agencies, and seek for collaboration and participation with them. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. In other words, let nothing stop you from your goal. So we run to American Center Abuja. Please unmute and ask your question.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Olad. Well, I want to ask this question as regarding you said something, you said from the beginning, you said it's one thing to be a part of the community, it's another to be outside, trying to see to a particular situation in that particular community. So I paint a scenario where there is a problem and the people are suffering from, and you want to volunteer to solve it or be a part of persons to solving that problem, but they are not willing to allow you to do that. Taking an instance where there's a particular place that needs to be cleared, like probably a death center or something, but they are not allowing you to clear it, and they are feeling, who are you? You are not an indigene, what are you coming here to do? And it's not giving you the opportunity. In that scenario, as an external, how can you see to that? Thank you.
Where's the next person? Yeah.
Okay, my question is very simple, because I noticed from your conversation you were talking more on the passion. My question, I'm curious, where is the place of purpose in volunteerism beyond passion? Where is the place of purpose in volunteerism beyond passion?
Okay, so Ebenezer, you can take the two from American Center Abuja.
Okay, so I would need the other person give his question again, because I didn't hear the last part of his question very well. But then I can take the second speaker.
The second question?
Yes, the second question from Abuja, yes.
So he's asking, what's the place of purpose in volunteerism?
All right, okay.
Beyond passion.
Beyond passion, okay. Oh, that's fine, that's fine. All right, so for the first question, you're like a stranger in a community, you've identified a problem and you're trying to help them solve that problem, but they are not willing. They are not allowing you come in because you are not an indigene. Well, we all know that if that problem you have identified, you're not allowed to work on it, it means that that problem remains unsolved. And your perspective, your unique perspective to solving it becomes lost. In a situation like that, like I said earlier, there is room for collaboration. So you can meet up with other persons, other agencies that you know, can easily penetrate those people. For instance, I can't just go into a Hausa community, for example, please. I can go into a Hausa community to execute a health project in the house of a Malam where I know is boldly written Bashiga. I think that's one of the things I took from the north. Bashiga as a man means I cannot enter into the house of that person. So I'm a stranger. So what do I need to do? Find the community leaders, find people around, and let them understand what you want to do. So that's a place of collaboration. So you must understand that volunteerism is never done alone. The founder of the Red Cross, Sir Jean Dunat, when he was to come up with programs to help the wounded, he didn't do it alone. He converted churches, mosques, and schools into mini health centers. And that is why today the Red Cross is represented in various churches, mosques, schools around the world. So my answer to that is collaboration. Now for the next question, beyond passion, where's the place of purpose? If as a young person, for instance, I decide to sit back and I do not find time or I do not find a field to commit my time to, despite the fact that I am passionate about it, how then will I identify my purpose for life? As an individual, I started out, I grew up with the mindset that, oh, I want to help young persons thrive, grow in life. Now, that led me into studying education. So you can see how I am combining purpose and passion together now. So today I can effectively teach with or without payment, and I am finding fulfillment. Why? Because I am helping to instill knowledge into the younger generation. So it is now combined. So beyond my passion, in the place of purpose, I first have to identify what is the problem I want to help solve. Then I need to assess myself. Do I have the necessary skills for it? If not, then I need to undergo a series of training. Part of this training could be what? Volunteering for other areas. Then, having identified these key areas, I need to now find where I can effectively commit my time into what I have been able to identify. So volunteerism does not only look into passion alone. You have to also find what you are purposeful about. Is it just waking up every morning and teaching young children how to read and write? Yeah, that could be your purpose. But if you're not passionate about instilling knowledge into younger persons, then it won't work out. I hope I've answered your question, sir. Thank you.
All right, we have some questions on the chat box. Maybe while you are reading that up, let me ask Sokoto to unmute and ask their question while Calabar gets ready. Sokoto.
Yes, right. Speak louder. Now, please. My name is Ebenezer Ogun. I'm not a politician. I'm here with my team. I'm National Executive Director for New Green Environment Initiative.
Sir, please, can you?
I can barely hear you, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Can you sit down so we can hear you? Please sit down, sir. You can speak, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, now.
Yes, it's fine.
I said, all right, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. The guest speaker, my name is Ebenezer Ogun. Like I said, not I'm the National Executive Director for New Green Environment NGO here in Sokoto State. And I'm here with some of my team members we are all volunteers in this organization. And I am happy to get later. I saw the title. I urge everyone to come down and do understand the concept properly and the possibility for the things forward. And I'm happy to hear the first speaker, that is the founder of this program, along with the guest speaker, talking about and its various dimensions and what coupled with the concept, the importance and what it takes to teach us. My question was somehow to answer some of the questions that have been asked, especially one of the questions that says that you are an outsider. How do you pass and identify problem? How do you pass? How do you get involved? And so we didn't try to answer that question. From the experience of that, it's very difficult for you to identify them outside and not solo. So the best thing is to, first of all, map out NGOs that are into such thematic areas and see how you can align yourself with them. So very involved and see how you can render yourself. I think it's easier because these NGOs are normally they are legalized and they have influences to to help you abate some of these problems that it's possible that even that's the problem you have identified in the environment. They have also captured it in their actual plans. Like we're just coming back from school market and marginal this afternoon with conversation. And what are we doing? We are trying to sort out enrollment of out of school children into the federal technical college for skill acquisition so that these students no longer depend on this white collar job. Okay, so this is what we have not done for the whole of today, and we are recovering tomorrow. And every one of us that are involved in this housing, we are all volunteers from this volunteerism.
Thank you very much.
Not only for students, but please, if you can get NGOs, so that we can build the capacity of the sector, so that we can really understand what volunteerism is. I think we want to. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your contribution. American Corner Calabar, can you unmute? Please, let's try to go straight to the question so we can have as many people as possible to ask questions. Calabar.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. So my question would be, in places of hostility, how do we successfully carry out or execute volunteerism projects? For example, where barrier, cultural diversity stands as a barrier. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We got you. So let's go to Uyo.
Hi. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, my name is Victor. So my question is, in the case whereby you have a problem to solve or to volunteer to solve, then you are limited to some resources. How do you tackle it? Who do you reach out to? Or what do you have to do so that you can keep on that passion going, you can keep on being motivated to carry out the work effectively? That's my question.
All right, my question is, how do you handle a situation whereby in your course of volunteering, you are being taken advantage of? Now, what I mean by that is, let's say I'm a graphic designer, for instance, and let's say I choose to volunteer for maybe a brand or an organization. And because they've seen my work, they now begin to maybe engage me, ask me to be doing things that are too much, or maybe they just come up with programs from time to time that are sometimes irrelevant, just so that I can offer my services for them. How do I handle those excesses? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ebenezer, please, can you take the 3 questions?
All right, thank you very much, Ma. I think I missed out one of the questions, but I think the two of them are related. Yes, yes. Hostility, finances. Please, I think we still need to understand that volunteerism has to do with what you have to give. There are times where I have volunteered and I spent my personal money. Believe you me, nobody would give you. No organization would fund you. No individual will fund you without first seeing what you have committed or what you are bringing to the table. If you need, okay, I think I'm seeing a question on the chat too, where somebody is asking about seeking for resources, finances.
Yes.
Please, let's take our minds off getting fundings from big organizations before we can execute projects. No, it is the little things you do. When you put those little things together and they see its impact, that is when you'll be trusted to execute a bigger project. Now, for the last person who said probably you volunteered as a graphics designer and then they're giving you too many jobs to handle outside what you have initially agreed. I believe there were no terms and conditions agreed before you took up that role. And like Nigerians, I know we're very good at that, where we go through things and then the terms and conditions, we don't want to read it. We just scroll down and say, I agree. So probably somewhere it is written, oh, you're going to do XYZ tax while you're with us. Because when you leave them, it is their duty to write a recommendation that, oh, for this number of hours you were with us. I've been privileged to visit the United States, and on that, during that project, it was Easter time, that I volunteered with the church to give food to homeless individuals in the US. The agreement was help serve. I didn't interface if I were not allowed to take pictures. So what the reason is because why? This is not part of the terms and conditions. So you must have laid down terms and conditions if you are volunteering with individuals, small organizations. If it is big organizations, even in the Red Cross, there are some things I can't do despite being a volunteer with the Red Cross. There are some things I'm not allowed to do. So please, to take the first two questions again, let us take our minds off I need money to do this. You're still going by the belief of what I can get. No, let it be what I can give. And one day, somebody that you think nobody is noticing you, somebody will just come from nowhere because you are not having that mindset of financial gain, financial gratification in the immediate, even in the future. When I was to travel under the IVLP program, I never knew this opportunity would come when I started advocating for the rights of children. But somebody saw what I was doing and recommended me, and today I am enjoying it. So please, thank you very much.
Thank you. So start small from where you are. Let's have Lekki, then Bauchi, after Lekki, then Kefi. Lekki, please unmute and ask your question.
Right. Yes. No, just I'm talking. I'm Jackie Bukizijan. How do you cope with people who make jest at you, they laugh at you when you volunteer? For example, in my area, they are fond of throwing dirt into the gutter when it's raining. And you come out during that time because you know that they are going to throw in dirt, and you start telling them the dangers of doing this. And all they do, they just mock you. They laugh at you, they call you names, they call you governor's daughter, they call you governor's assistant. And sometimes when they see you coming, they do it purposely. They even show you the dirt and they pour it into the gutter. So I'm asking, how long, because I'm getting tired, how long will you do this? I've even spoken with some of the leaders of the community and they said, this people, they are tired. Maybe there's nowhere to throw away dirty, or I don't know. How long will I continue to talk?
All right. Bauchi.
How do you help a community that doesn't want to be helped? For instance, the heads of the leaders of that community,
they don't want the community to be like, oh, let me just say that you see a problem, you have identified the problem.
Sorry, please, can you move closer to the mic, please? Sorry, please.
Go ahead. Okay, I mean, how to go about it, how to help the community that doesn't want to be helped. For instance, you have identified the problem, you know the solution to this problem, but because the heads of the community, they are getting something out of the problem. How do you go about it?
Okay, thank you. So Kefi, can you ask your question?
Good day. So my name is Anas. So my question is, what if you are volunteering for someone and the person is not appreciating, or anytime you want to volunteer, the person will feel it's like you are just wasting your time? Should you continue volunteering for that person, or you should stop at all? That's my question. Thank you.
Ebenezer, you can go ahead with the 3 questions.
Okay, so I missed the Kefi's question, but let me quickly answer the other two. It was based on my network. So I think from the center in Lekki, you asked how do you cope with people making fun of what you are doing? Everybody's going to make fun of what you're doing. Yes. I was laughed at when I started speaking in the interest of children, particularly boys. In fact, somebody had challenged me at the time and said, "Who told you they are abusing boys? Don't you think the boys too are enjoying it?" That was enough for me to sit back and say, okay, I'm not going to stand to defend the rights of the boy child anymore. But no, I understood what I was fighting for. And I was not deterred by their comments or by their jests or what have you. In a situation like that, Nigerians, sometimes we need strict actions. If it pertains to environment and they are, messing up the place, despite your efforts to keep it clean, it takes you nothing to walk up to any of the environmental agency and request for a support. And I am very sure when they know the impact of what you're doing, yet the people are going against it, they will take actions on your behalf. People are going to label you, yes, oh, you're the bad person, the fellow who did XYZ. But one day, trust me, one day the impact will be felt. Because one thing we must know is that if we leave a problem without solving it, it will become a disaster. But if we identify a problem and we solve it, it will become a project. People are complaining about something. When you identify it and you work on it, it becomes a project. That complaint becomes a solution. And before you know it, these same individuals who are consumers would become creators. Before now, every one of us used to throw dirt around. But today, thankfully to the individuals who brought about recycling, would you drop a plastic of water on the road and come back to meet it there? No, because somebody now sees, oh, this is an avenue for me to make an additional #1 when I take it to a recycling center. So can you see how that has been converted? For the next question, you mentioned about, I think from Bauchi, no, not the other guy, you said about you want to give people help, but they are not willing to accept it. Yes, it comes that way too. And like I said, you keep at what you are doing. You can't just bring an initiative to me today and expect I would accept you immediately. No, it will take time. If we have to look into the other side where people don't accept volunteers, you would get to see a lot of things. I have wanted to help somebody and he's asking me, did I call you to help me? So it could be that funny. Did I call you to help me? Do I look like I need your help? But I was like, you're bleeding. And if you don't stop this blood, it will lead to you dying. It was until somebody intervened and said, this blood is too much. Let us attend to it. So you have to. So Ma, can you help me with the question from Bauchi? My network, I lost it there. I didn't hear.
From Kefi. He said you are volunteering for someone and the person is making jest or be. Can you, Kefi, you can unmute and ask again. You are not appreciated for volunteering. Go ahead,
okay,
Kefi.
okay.
My name is
Go ahead,
Anas. My question goes as, if you are volunteering for someone and the person is looking at it like it's too small for him, it's bigger than this thing you're doing, should you keep volunteering or you should stop?
Okay, so my response is going to come like a question. I like your question. So my response is going to come like a question. Are you volunteering for that person, or you're volunteering because you want to do it? Let's get practical.
Because I wanted to do it. He did
Because
not
you want
ask
to
me to do it.
Whether he
Because
appreciates it, whether he appreciates it or not, do you find fulfillment within yourself when you
No.
volunteer? When you volunteer, do you find
Yes,
fulfillment? You find fulfillment? Then
yes.
keep at it. One
Okay,
day,
sir.
that person will come back to appreciate you. And even if that person does not, trust me, somebody else is noticing you. That person would appreciate you on the behalf of that person. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me read this question from Gombe. Gombe is asking, in a case whereby you have the mindset of volunteering, but the finances are not there, how do you engage yourself in volunteering?
Okay, so finances in what regard? Because we need to understand it. Is it the finance to put up the project, or the finance for you to go there and execute what you need to do? Please, whatever we're doing, find a way around it. Like I said earlier, and like our host mentioned, start small. There is no harm in starting small. Before I became a member of the Red Cross, I was already doing something on my own. I currently run the Child Rights Foundation, where I serve as the lead advocate. And I have never advocated for anybody and asked for a penny. Rather, I spend my money. So you must have that mindset. So when you talk about finance, I'm still trying to understand from what angle you're asking. Is it to execute a big project? Yes, if you need such. People would only find trust in your project when they are able to identify the little things you have been able to do. I have a friend who also is a Red Cross member and is doing pretty well in Ajegule here. There are countless number of projects he is doing, and I know times he spends his own money too. But today, there are several organizations now calling him, come and take these food supplies. Take this, in fact, OPay, one of these online platforms, is giving him money to fund education. I also have a co-alumni member on Sci-Fi who runs a street to slum school. She spends her money. So you do not start a project, or you do not identify a problem by first asking yourself, how do I get money from people to solve that problem? No. You must understand that you will spend your own. So until you have that understanding that I am going to spend my own, that is when you can be open. Nobody will commit to your work. You're a starter, and you're expecting somebody to just commit. No, it's going to be very difficult. Thank you.
All right. So let me go to Enugu. Say, what qualities makes one a good volunteer?
What qualities makes one a good volunteer?
Yes.
All right. So for you to be a good volunteer, you must be caring, you must be accommodating, you must be emphatic, you must be loving. Hello? Is it me or can you still hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So you must be caring, you must be accommodating. Then The word is, it is not just volunteerism, it is called voluntary service. Give without expecting anything in return. So until you have that humanitarian spirit in you, so I'm going to share. I'm going to share some other things with the whole, so it can be shared across to all of our centers for future references also. So I'm seeing here somebody's asking, what roles can volunteers play in promoting social justice or human rights? There are several human rights organizations around. You can find some online. Take up courses. Take up those courses, learn. Because human rights is not just something you venture into like that. You must understand what human rights are, then understand what are the infringements to human rights. Right? Okay. So you take those courses at first, then you can find several roles there. You could be a lead advocate, you could be even a graphics designer for them who helps them to create compelling pictures that spreads the message, telling people to promote human rights. Then somebody else is from Abuja is asking, when is the appropriate time to stop volunteering? Wow. Wow. I have never stopped volunteering in my life. I have never stopped volunteering, and I don't think I will stop volunteering. So I don't have an answer to that.
Okay. So can I go to Oka?
Okay.
Oka has a question. As a teacher, I am interested in giving back to the rural dwellers. So please, how do I start by volunteer activities in a rural setting, community?
Could you take the end part of the question again, please?
Say, how do I start my volunteer activities in a rural community?
Okay, so the question is, what is the problem you have identified in that rural settlement? What is that impact you want to make in that area? So you must first identify the problem, identify the need of the community. When you do, map out the community, find individuals who you think share same passion with you, not somebody you tell that would make jest of you. I do not like how this place is littered. Me too. That is somebody who you can work with. So you can both pair yourselves together. Then you can then find, if it's something that would involve collaborations of stakeholders in the community, you would also need to. In fact, volunteering does not need you to first go and register your organization. You can even leave that out. Create that impact. Let people feel your impact first. When they do, no matter how little, when people see your impact, they will be confident about you. Thank you.
So I take the last question on the chat box before we go to the live audience. Say, again, when I find myself in a new environment, identifying a problem, but the problem do not tally with my passion, do I neglect the problem?
This is very key. You have identified the problem, but the problem does not tally with your passion. Do not neglect the problem. Your passion could be tied around it. Yes. Find solutions to that problem. And trust me, you would end up becoming passionate on that problem, if not other areas likewise. Please, whatever problem you've been able to identify, do not neglect it, so long as you can provide solutions to it. Thank you.
Okay, so we go to Jigawa. Then Zaria gets ready after Jigawa. Please unmute and ask your question. Jigawa.
Hi, my name is Khadija Ibrahim. So you said we should make impact for us to be noticed. I have started volunteering last year, and this year will mark like 2 years now for volunteering. I have a lot of projects on ground, and most of them, gaskiya, they need recognition. So how do I get that? because I have been trying throughout this year for like 6 months now.
Nice. Okay. Zaria.
Okay.
Okay. You can take a question. You can
Thank
answer
you
it.
very much. You need recognition on your project. Well, put up the message.
Yeah?
You said you should publicize it.
Okay, I should publicize it
Yes.
on the
Talk
internet
about what you are doing.
So
Hello,
currently,
Ebenezer. No, hold on, Jigawa. Let me see. It's coming back. It's like maybe he has a little network issue. But I guess what he's trying to say is that you should publicize what you are doing. Let people know what you are doing. That's how you can get recognition. Guess Kiani.
Let me just interject. Can I quickly advise you, young lady? There was a very interesting story of a lady who volunteered over the years to read books. He bought about 10 books, and he will go from school to read those books to them. But do you know what she was doing? Every year she would take pictures and upload it on blogspot.com, which is a free platform from Google. And a notification of funding opportunities came up from our office, and she applied. She would need some money to buy more books. She now wanted some like laptop, projector, and that proposal was sent to me to review. The first thing I asked was, what have you done? Then I looked through and I saw a link to that blog. And lo and behold, I saw so many pictures for up to 10 years. And lo and behold, I said, this is a serious person. And of course, she was given what she requested for. So find a way of putting records of what you are doing online. And like our speaker said, Ebenezer said, no, you are not out to make money. That's not the intention. But let me be frank with you, if you do it very well over time, all these things will come. Thank you.
Ebenezer, do you have an addition to it?
Well, I was going to say exactly the same thing. Documentation. Okay, so even if you don't, you cannot access blogs. TikTok today, Twitter, there are social media platforms where you can share your works, and one day it will be needed. So it shouldn't be, TikTok shouldn't be a place where we just go and then just waste our data and resources.
I guess his network is frozen. So I'd like to ask Zaria, can you
could use
unmute?
Instagram to
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Presenter. So my question, as we have many young people like Alan, so I want us to materialize the topic. Like my question, if in Africa, for instance, we are living in family, if I have decided to willingly wash the car of my dad every day, is that a voluntary service?
Yes. You are willingly working in your father's car every day. Yes, that's a voluntary service. And guess what? You can extend it from your father to someone else. And you wash. Before you know, you are washing the cars of everybody in the community. If you walk up to somebody and tell that person that, oh, I've been washing cars and I think I kind of like this. And I want to run a business where if outside they wash other cars for 1,000 naira, I will do my own for 500, more like a give back to my community. It will not be difficult for somebody to invest in it. So yes, that is voluntary service.
Okay, so Zaria, do you have another question? I see your hand is still up. If not, Sokoto, are you asking another question? You can unmute and ask.
Yes, there is question from Sokoto.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Asma. I am an investigator part of this program. I am a member of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Civic chapter. I'm also the founder of the there is this barrier we are having, especially here in the north. You wanting to volunteer with a whole lot of things, how like a lot of and say I am this kind of person that loves and I love giving back. Before the association was a lesson hub, I usually organize lessons for children in my community in order to prepare them for their academics. But then recently I am facing this kind of challenge, especially in my community. I use my own hard-earned money to do all this work. Because of the good work, that was how I got the opportunity for someone to register my NGO so I can carry on with good work. But then people call me names. People call me names, and there is this kind of family that is involved. The question here is, how do I balance my mental health with my service? Because whenever issues like that keep coming, even though if I am trying to contain the there is a certain condition that I cannot. Recently, I organized a children's day for the kids I am taking care of. But before you know, the story turned out that I am using my mother's money, because I'm being the one taking care of her is a personal issue. That I am using her money. So before you know, it has turned that calculated and calculated in my head. So how to manage, how to balance your work and your mental? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ebenezer.
All right.
How
All right.
to balance
Thank you
your
very much.
mental health with volunteerism?
Yes. Thank you very much. I must appreciate what you do. Thank you for giving back to your community, like you mentioned. How to balance your mental health? Well, I would suggest that amidst all those works you do, you must ask yourself, is it something you find joy doing? If yes, whenever this issue comes up where you have this negative feeling, negative mindset of why are people turning down the good works I do for them, you talk to yourself personally by identifying those things that brings joy to you
play those things over and over again in your memory and tell it to yourself. And then you must be confident on what you do and tell yourself, I will keep doing this no matter what, no matter the challenge I face. I am a victim of child sexual abuse. And one day I stood up and said, rather than be an abuser, I am going to change the narrative. Because most times statistics have shown that most victims of sexual abuse, ends up becoming abusers. But I told myself, I had the mental challenge too then. I had the challenge. I won't tell you lies. It wasn't easy. But I told myself, I am going to bring out a message from the mess I passed through. And today, that's word, bringing out a message from my mess, has helped me overcome any form of challenge, either physical, either mental, from anybody. It has always helped me. And whenever I see the impact of the work I do on young boys, on children today, it gives me nothing but joy, getting to know that our community is becoming a better place. It is a gradual process. My policy about life is, it is easier to build up a child than to repair an adult. So I would rather catch them young than finding that adult I want to change his mindset. So keep at what you're doing. I know it might not be easy, yes, but keep at it. Be joyful about what you do, and the success will keep coming. Thank you once again, and I really appreciate you. Well done.
So I'll ask a question, then we will tie it up on this session today. In what ways can volunteering help you develop valuable life and career skills? Can you just share in 2 minutes as you also round
All
up?
right, thank you very much for that wonderful question, Ma. We must understand that volunteerism comes in different areas. So when you identify the professional field you want to venture into, the next thing is find what way can I volunteer. For instance, you want to become a medical doctor that helps people in terms of medical challenges, and then you want to find an outfit or an agency related to this career which you hope to pursue. There are several organizations you can work with. You can even go to any of this, the general hospitals around, and then look into it and say, okay, I hope to become a pediatrician, or I hope to become a surgeon. But while growing up, I need some certain knowledge and skills. So I want to volunteer. You might not be allowed into the clinic immediately or into the theater immediately because it will take a series of time. But as you continue to give your time, as you continue to give back, commit to cleaning the environment, tidying up everything, you begin to learn practical skills that will be needed in your profession eventually. I ended up becoming a teacher because I love impacting knowledge. What was the first thing I did when I identified this and my love for children? I joined in my church. I committed to the children department, committed to teaching in the children's Sunday school classes. That way, I was getting to understand how to communicate effectively with children. So there's a way I can communicate with children, and there's a different way to communicate with an adult. So this way, I had my plan all laid out. The end result was to be someone who transmit or instills knowledge into the younger persons. But I started out from taking Sunday school classes. And that way, I was able to understand how to communicate effectively with children, which in turn had also helped build me into communicating effectively with people. We must understand that volunteering provides us with numerous benefits that might not be seen in the immediate, but as time goes on, it becomes practical for people to see. My end statement is going to be that for every problem you identify and you do not find a solution to, it will not remain a problem, but it will grow into becoming a disaster. So it is not about finding problems, but it is about preferring solutions to those problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. We really appreciate you. I'd like to call on my colleague, Samuel Ede, as we close. Over to you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Please, can we put our hands together for Ebenezer, please, in appreciation for a wonderful session this afternoon. So, Ebenezer, on behalf of the public diplomacy session and on behalf of all the American species, we want to sincerely appreciate you for committing your time and your resources to this awesome session and topic. You have actually dealt a good justice to it, and I think it's we have started on a very good footing. So I want to say thank you and God bless you. And just like you have also made us to see the benefits and the necessity why we need to give back through volunteering or volunteerism, I'm sure that you yourself you will keep reaping the reward of this as well. All right, so for all of us at American Spaces, I want to thank you for your time, for being part of today's session. Remember that there is a certificate at the end of the 5 weeks for those who will make 80% of attendance, which means you must attend 4 out of the 5 sessions. Ensure you have your name written down as you attend. Make sure you put your name down the attendance register in your respective spaces. And it's not just about listening, it's also going out to be sure that you practice. Look out for ways to volunteer in your communities, in your religious houses, in your neighborhood. There is something you have that you can always give out. And I'm sure that, like Ebenezer has told us, the reward is enormous. So next week, Tuesday, is another day, 1:30 p.m. Let's make it a day to be here on time to, as we go into the week 2 of the series, and we'll have an interesting topic also on volunteerism and also an interesting speaker. So please, we want you to make it a date with us. And also be on the lookout for all our scheduled programs. Speak with a diplomat will be coming up later this month. Conversation with an alum also will be coming up. And quite a lot of other programs in our individual American spaces. So I want to say thank you to you once again, and let the discussion continue. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors, and if you think you have an enemy, please also invite the person. When they get busy with volunteerism, they will see you as a friend and not as an enemy. So I want to thank you all and all the directors. Thank you, and my colleague Josephine, and my boss Samuel. I want to say thanks to all of us. And at this point, I want to say bye-bye to every one of us. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.